But once again with another player, this time in Nokia. We'll start with a very basic and simple thing. If you introduce yourself to the camera, who are you, where you're from, and all these basic information.
Okay. Well, my name is Kahron Ross. I'm from Jonesboro, Arkansas, in the U.S., and this is my fourth year playing professionally.
And let's take you straight back to when you were young and saw the basketball for the first time and thought that, hey, I might enjoy this one. And that's like a fun thing to do. Mm-hmm. When was that one, and what sort of memories you have from that one?
Well, I started playing basketball when I was about 4 or 5 years old. Like I started really early. My dad always, would put a basketball in my hand, and I come from a basketball family. My dad played basketball. My mom, my grandparents, a lot of my cousins and stuff like that. We all has always played basketball, so it's always been around. And once I've just kept playing and playing, I started to fall in love with it, and then now I'm here today.
So it sounds like you didn't have much of a choice on a sport. It was only one sport for you.
Well, to be honest, when I was younger, my dad started me off really young. Like I said, he put a basketball in my hands when I was 3 or 4, and I was always around it. I was always seeing it, and I didn't play any other sports besides football, but that was when I was really younger. So it's always been basketball.
And sort of what sort of age were you when you started to consider that this is something that I am actually good at and sort of want to take it a bit to the next level?
I would say middle school or high school maybe, because I was always smaller, but my dad would always make me play up in the higher level just to challenge me. And I would say 8th or 9th grade, I start to really see I could take it to the next level and play collegiately and also professionally.
And of course, in the US especially, I'm sure all young players look up to players in the NBA or so forth. I mean, and you mentioned that you're not exactly the tallest person. Mm-hmm. What sort of players did you look up to when you were young, and what sort of players were the ones that, hey, I want to emulate him or sort of take something from his game?
Yeah, well, Dwayne Wade has always been my favorite player. I wanted to be his height. He's about 6'4". My dad is 6'4", so I always thought I would be taller as well. So, but I never got that tall. So, but Dwayne Wade is my favorite player. But since I'm shorter, I try to model my game after Chris Paul. He's a really good point guard, a really good playmaker. He's a leader. So as far as basketball-wise, I model my game after him. But Dwayne Wade was definitely my favorite player growing up.
And sort of course, in basketball, the tall guys are dominating under the basket as a sort of more medium height player. Mm-hmm. What sort of skills do you bring to the game that sort of then separate you from them, and what can you bring to the teams always?
I just have to use my quickness to my advantage. I think I have a pretty high IQ, so I try to outsmart guys, use angles. It's all about timing for me, because I'm smaller. So just try to beat guys like that, just finding the right angles and using my quickness and trying to be savvy in that way.
And I said this is your 4th year playing professionally, so tell us where were you the last 3 years? Where did they take you?
My rookie year I played in Germany, Pro A, and then my 2nd year I played in Albania, which is the Balkan League, and then last year, my 3rd year, I played in the UK, BBL.
So what do you think, like, of course, when you're a young player, it's very good to sort of go and see different leagues. What do you think sort of these last 3 years have sort of brought to you, and have they matured you as a player and the skills?
For sure. Just being in different countries, learning different cultures, it's always a great experience. When I was in college, my college was about 16 hours away from where I lived. So I'm used to being, far from home. So, but being in an entirely different country is a totally different experience. But I take it for what it is, and I try to learn, the culture as much as I can, and it's a great experience.
And of course, this season you came to Korisliiga Finland and BC Nokia. How much did you know about the Finnish league, Finland, or Nokia as a place or a team before you came here?
I didn't know much. My agent had to tell me about it, but he did say Finnish. The Finnish league is a really well-respected league across Europe. There's a lot of talented guys here, a lot of talented Finnish guys, a lot of talented imports. So I think the league is really competitive this year, from top to bottom. So just ready to get back going and play some games.
And how has it been the last? Well, that's half a season I think we played so far. How has it been for yourself? How you've settled in here? How you find the style of play? Has it been what you expected, or?
Yeah, it's what I expected. Like I said, coming in, my agent told me it's a tough league. Like I said, from top to bottom, the teams are really competitive, and we have a pretty good team that I think we can compete for a title this year. So just ready to get back going and get back in the groove of things.
And what about the future? What do you hope that future brings to you as a basketball player?
I try not to look too far in the future. I know. Yeah, I know that's kind of a cliche answer, but I try to take it just one day at a time. Just continue to get better each day, and then I feel like if I do that, everything else will take care of itself.
And then this season ongoing at the moment, we're in late January at the moment. What are the goals for yourself and the team now that the games are back on again?
Well, we have a tough stretch coming up. I think we have about 6 games until we find out if we're top or bottom for the playoff spot. So each game is like a playoff game, and we got to approach it as such. And I'm excited to get going with, next week.
And for the last bit, what do you want to say to the fans? Of course, your own fans or the fans of the Finnish league in general. Now that we hopefully will see them soon back in the stands again.
Yeah, it's great, and especially our fans. They always come and pack the house out, and it really helps us get that edge. When we're down or we need energy, the crowd always helps us. So I'm really excited if they are able to come back.